Long ago, when the world was young and the gods still walked among mortals, the Moirai, the sisters of fate, were entrusted with weaving the destinies of all living beings. From their celestial loom, they spun threads of life and intertwined them to create the grand tapestry of existence. Every thread represented a life, from the smallest creature to the mightiest of kings. Each thread had its beginning, its length, and its inevitable end, all determined by the hands of Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos. One day, as the sisters worked in their ethereal domain, Clotho, the spinner, began to weave a golden thread. It was unlike any she had ever spun before, gleaming with a fiery brilliance that seemed almost alive. Lachesis, the allottor, leaned closer to examine it. "Sister, this thread burns with the light of renewal," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "Its life will be unlike any other we have woven." Atropos, the eldest, held her shears but did not approach. "Such brilliance cannot last forever," she said gravely. "Even the brightest threads must come to an end. Be cautious, sisters. Such fire can consume as easily as it illuminates." Clotho continued her spinning, her fingers moving deftly as the thread grew. "This thread belongs to a creature of legend," she whispered. "A phoenix born of fire and destined to burn and rise again. Its life will be a cycle of death and rebirth. Its purpose to remind the world of the beauty of renewal." Lachesis measured the thread carefully, her hands trembling slightly as she determined its length. "How does one measure the life of a being that dies only to be reborn?" she asked. "Its destiny is a paradox, a flame that flickers yet never fades." The sisters worked in silence, their movements precise and deliberate. When the thread was ready, it was placed into the tapestry, its golden light weaving through the fabric of existence. The phoenix was born, a creature of fiery feathers and eternal renewal, soaring across the heavens and lighting the world with its brilliance. For centuries, the phoenix lived its cyclical life, bursting into flames at the end of each existence only to rise anew from its ashes. Mortals marveled at the creature, seeing in its fiery rebirth a symbol of hope and transformation. The phoenix became a living legend, inspiring poets, philosophers, and witches alike. But as the centuries passed, the phoenix grew weary. Though it was immortal, the endless cycle of burning and rising began to weigh on its soul. It longed for release, for a chance to rest and let its fire finally fade. The phoenix, determined to confront its destiny, flew to the realm of the Moirai. The sisters were not accustomed to visitors. When the phoenix arrived, its radiant feathers casting golden light across their dark domain, they paused their weaving and looked upon the creature with curiosity. "Why have you come to us, child of fire?" Clotho asked, her voice gentle yet firm. "I seek an end to my cycle," the phoenix said, its voice like the crackling of flames. "I have burned and risen countless times, and though I am grateful for the life you have woven for me, I wish to rest. I ask you, sisters of fate, to cut my thread." Atropos, who held the shears, stepped forward. Her gaze was steady as she regarded the phoenix. "Do you understand what you ask? To cut your thread is to end your existence, to step into the void beyond all cycles." The phoenix lowered its head, its flames dimming slightly. "I understand, and yet I yearn for peace. I have lived my purpose, inspired hope, and shown the world the beauty of renewal. Now I wish to rest, to let my light fade and give way to the stars." The sisters exchanged glances, their expressions unreadable. Lachesis, who measured the thread, spoke next. "Your thread is unique, Phoenix. It was not meant to end as others do. But perhaps there is wisdom in your request. Even the brightest flames must eventually dim, if only to make way for new light." Clotho nodded solemnly and turned to Atropos. "Sister, the choice is yours. If you believe this thread has reached its end, then it is your hand that must cut it." Atropos hesitated, her ancient hands gripping the shears. She looked into the phoenix's fiery eyes and saw both weariness and peace. "Very well," she said finally. "If this is your will, I shall honor it." With a single deliberate motion, Atropos cut the golden thread. As the thread fell away from the loom, the phoenix let out a final, exultant cry, a sound of release, of gratitude, and of farewell. Its body ignited in one last blaze of golden light, brighter than the sun, before fading into ashes. But as the sisters watched, the ashes began to shimmer. From them, a single golden feather emerged, glowing softly with a gentle, eternal light. The sisters smiled, for they understood. Though the phoenix's thread had been cut, its essence would endure, a symbol of hope and transformation woven into the fabric of existence itself. The feather drifted down into the tapestry, blending with the threads of life. Mortals, sensing the shift, continued to tell the stories of the phoenix, its light now shining within them as inspiration and renewal. And the Moirai returned to their work, knowing that even in endings, there are new beginnings.